At the risk of just sounding like I escaped from a padded cell, I'm going to go out on a limb and assume I'm not the only one that does this, where you brainstorm this absolute ridiculous fantasy about what you would do in a perilous situation. How would you stop a criminal if you had to, right? So you're out at a restaurant, you start like looking around, and for some reason you just play through this fanfic in your head of, what if a bad guy comes in with a bazooka? What's the protocol? How do I save the day and keep everyone alive? And, whatever. Everyone plays out this hero fantasy in their head, I think. And today, I saw a news story where I have no doubt the main character here had this envisioned in his head since the time he was a child and actually got to pull it off successfully. There was a criminal on the loose, and he was apprehended by the most unlikely of suspects. Like, I would have been less shocked if it was Captain fucking Underpants that caught this guy than who it actually was. A golfer. A dude just casually out there chugging some brewskis with the boys on the front nine ended up catching a criminal in one of the wackiest ways I've ever seen.
Police cars pour onto a golf course. They're going after a suspected bad guy. But no need to hurry. He's trapped in a porta potty.
We couldn't believe that he went inside there.
I can't believe this isn't a skit. It's real. This is legitimate. Life sometimes imitates cartoons. So, what happened is, I'll let the rest of the news segment play in a moment, but I want to break down the cliff notes. A criminal was running away from authorities, and he tried to hide inside of a porta potty for cover, basically playing it like a stealth game, where you're trying to de-aggro by going inside of something like an Assassin's Creed where you dive into some hay. He went into a porta potty. One of the golfers saw this and also saw the authorities were looking for him and took this as his moment of opportunity to strike. So all his neurons were firing and he came up with a genius scheme here where he would tip over the porta potty and trap him inside. And for anyone that's been around the internet for a while, you'll know that this was actually like a nefarious, like downright evil thing that some people would do to strangers in porta potties where they would tip it over, it would land on its door and it would trap them in there and it'd cause all like the poop and pee and everything in the porta potty to splash around on top of them. Absolutely degenerate, I think, criminal prank. But here, he took something truly awful and turned it into a force of good. So he tips over the porta potty, causes it to fall on its door, meaning the criminal that's on the run is now trapped inside that porta potty. But not only that, all the contents from inside the porta potty are now all over him. So he's covered in all kinds of shit and piss. Like, he probably contracted more diseases than the Oregon Trail. Like, this man's probably got dysentery and fatal fart disease now from this. Like, he added insult to injury by not only catching him, but covering him in toilet waste. It couldn't be worse. That is a fate worse than just going to prison. Being trapped in a porta potty you can't get out of. Oh my lord, it is so revolting.
The bizarre case starts when a stolen car crashes outside Milwaukee. 4 people inside take off. There goes one, then another, then the third, then the fourth. Cops say one of the bad guys ran to the golf course. Not exactly a great place to hide with all that wide open space. So what'd he do? He jumped into a porta potty. Fortunately, a golfer saw what was happening and tipped the porta potty over.
I can just picture this scene playing out in my head. The guy who tipped the porta potty over, our savior, his name is Adam. So he sees the criminal run into the porta potty and he immediately gets to thinking, it's time to start stinking. He gets a big smirk on his face, slowly sets the 5-iron back in the golfing bag. He was about to hit a spectacular shot, eagling the par 5, but he says, it can wait. I've got business to tend to. And then just fucking sprints over and blasts the porta potty over, trapping him inside. This guy obviously knew that he had to tip it over onto the door. This is a guy who was familiar with that old awful prank people used to do, and he turned it into a force for good. That's crazy.
Golfer Alyssa Boland was there.
He made a quick decision to tip it over, walked away and said, good luck, buddy.
You can just imagine what happened next. The suspect found himself trapped inside.
Don't let this deceive you. Don't get it twisted. This was after the suspect had been apprehended. So they had pushed the porta potty over so that way the door was on its side so he could climb out. But when it was initially tipped over, it was on the door. So there was no escape. He was truly at the mercy of whoever would come to free him from this fucking fate worse than death, being trapped in a porta potty with everything sloshing around on you. And I think it is so badass that the guy who did it didn't stick around to give an interview or anything. He just pushes it over, apparently said, "Good luck, buddy," and left. He just sailed off into the sunset, held his head up high and said, "I did good today." Like, he wanted no part of any kind of fame or glory or recognition for this. He didn't want the keys to the city. He just wanted to go back to finishing his game. He probably still went and eagled that par 5.
Back at the clubhouse, a police officer commandeers a golf cart and drives over to the porta potty. The cops roll the porta potty over so the suspect can get out.
Come out! Crawl out, dude!
Then he states the obvious. He's not exactly smelling of roses.
Don't do anything stupid!
One cop puts on gloves before he goes anywhere near the suspect. Hey, wouldn't you?
Are you injured at all? I'm just scratching my foot.
I will say, at least he didn't have to spend that long stewing in all the juices of the porta potty. He wasn't in there for that long. Like, this didn't become like a sarcophagus form where he's in there for like hours upon hours or anything. He was there for a little while. Even still, of course it's awful, but he did have another thing working in his favor in terms of this porta potty in particular. It's on a golf course, so I can't imagine that it's that full. Like, it probably wasn't at maximum poop capacity or anything. Like, there was probably only a little bit of shit and pee in there. It probably wasn't crazy. If this had been a porta potty at like EDC Music Festival or Coachella, you would have went straight to heaven the second the cursed fluids inside of that porta potty touched your skin. If you were in one of those porta potties that got tipped over, it would have sent you to meet your maker. It probably would have melted you instantly. It would have been like that scene in Indiana Jones when they open the Ark of the Covenant and everyone's fucking flesh just starts melting off of them and they die instantly. That would have been what happened with one of those porta potties. So it definitely could have been worse in terms of porta potty selection. This porta potty seems to be in the middle of nowhere on a golf course. I imagine it wasn't a high traffic area. It probably wasn't seeing a ton of action. If I had to get tipped over in a porta potty, I would probably want it to be this one. Like, I'm going out on a limb here. This could be an absolute catastrophe in there. I'm really not sure. We didn't get like an aftermath report where they do like a tour of what the porta potty looked at after it was tipped over. But I'm just giving it the old eyeball test here. I didn't see a ton of like horrifying things in the porta potty for the brief moment we caught a glimpse of it. So I don't think it was the worst in the world. There's definitely worse porta potties it could have been. Of course, I'm sure he's still not happy about the situation. Like, like definitely still horrifying, but you know, there's definitely more disastrous porta potties to be tipped over in. I'm getting a little sidetracked. What a crazy way of apprehending a runaway criminal here from someone who just happened to see the whole thing unfold and have this opportunity to help by pushing over a fucking porta potty. Like, the simplest thing ever from, like, old internet days of the worst pranks ever, and it actually ended up being helpful. And then the guy, the dude who tipped it over, has just vanished. He said, "I'm done here. This is my legacy now." And that's it. So just a wacky situation I wanted to cover a little bit. That's it. So yeah. I think it's safe to say everyone has those hero fantasies where you're the main character that defeats the villain and everyone's impressed and claps for you. You know, that kind of situation you imagine in your head where you're at a restaurant and then all of a sudden Cobra Commander fucking kicks down the door with a bazooka and he's taking hostages, but you go out of your way to disarm Cobra Commander and beat his ass. You know, those kind of hero fantasies I think we've all imagined at some point in our life. But very rarely do you see someone that actually acts upon them and becomes the hero. So please allow me to introduce you to the newest Avenger, Captain Babyman. This is a real-life superhero, and he's just like you and me, just a normal guy, but he has a baby. And he's not afraid to bring that baby into any fight he tries to start.
Recorded. Let's call the police. I'll call the police.
Dude.
I'm gonna call them right now.
Do it.
Identify yourself.
It
please.
doesn't matter.
Please identify yourself.
Marvel's really going a new direction with their characters, proving that it's okay for men to cry over nothing. So this is a really confusing video for me because the guy here is really upset about a guy who's at a building visiting a friend. He keeps asking for identification as if this is the bouncer of this apartment complex, which I guess it could be, but if that is the case, they need to fire him and hire somewhere else because this is just not a good bang for your buck here. You are not getting a good deal on your security staff if this guy's the front man here. It's really weird that he's just immediately crying and shaking and calling the police just because someone arrived that he didn't recognize. I guess this apartment complex, everyone's family. Like, it's Dominic Toretto's apartment complex. Everyone knows everyone. They kiss each other on the mouth every morning or something. So when the stranger shows up, fucking go on a DEFCON alert and start panicking. But I just don't understand why he's taking it to such an extreme. And if he really does feel like this stranger is that dangerous, why does he have his baby there? He's willingly putting his baby in harm's way. Because in his head right now, he's on the battlefield. Like, he's in a war zone right now, and he's the only thing keeping the peace. And he brought his baby to it for some reason. If he really felt this way, he should have done the responsible thing as a father and left since he has his baby.
You can please identify yourself.
I don't have to identify.
Yes, you do, because
No,
if
I
you're
don't.
stepping into this building, you
Are
absolutely
you?
have
You're
to.
not the gatekeeper of this building.
I live here.
It doesn't matter.
It
I'm
does.
here visiting.
Then you identify yourself.
No, they call the police. Like, this is really
Please
weird.
leave. Please stand outside.
I'm not going to.
Please stand outside of the
Dude,
door.
I don't have to. You are in my way.
I have to wonder if this man and his baby swapped brains, like if there's some kind of science experiment, because the baby's using this man like it's a goddamn Megazord in Power Rangers. He's just up there chilling, like controlling him via his hair. And then the guy here is having a fucking baby tantrum meltdown just because a guy he doesn't recognize is at the door. Now, obviously, I don't know the full scope of the situation. I remember when I lived in an apartment complex, pretty much anyone could wander in off the street. We also used to have a lot of people use it as like a public defecation and urination site. So maybe I'm just not super used to apartment culture when you have to like enter a door. Because back then, the apartment I lived at was just used as a goddamn cum dumpster. But I can't understand that some buildings can take it seriously. Like, if this guy was following someone else into the building and this guy saw it, I could understand him being a little skeptical, like, hey, can you just wait? I feel like that would have been a much more peaceful solution instead of like, where's your ID? Give me your fucking ID. I'm the hall monitor. I'm taking it to the principal. ID, 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 ID. You know, you could have just been like, hey, you just wait for your friend down here or something. Like, there was plenty of different ways of handling this, and I still don't know why he was this confrontational with his baby on his shoulders. Unless he planned on using the baby as, like, a riot shield in case things got out of control. I don't really know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's extremely confusing.
You have no right to be here.
You have no right to tell me that.
Absolutely, I do.
No, you don't.
I'm here to make sure the building is. Hi, there's a person
John, this is your home. He's calling the police on me.
John, your buddy here.
I don't have to identify myself to this gentleman.
Please let him know that if he comes in here to let people know who he's visiting. Thank you. Thank you.
Dude.
Don't do that.
Dude, I can't wait to make this video go viral.
John, yeah, that's John.
Now, this is where the video gets really fucking trippy. This is where it goes, like, full Christopher Nolan with its plot. So the guy that he is there to visit comes downstairs and he says, hey, John. So he addresses him as John. We establish that this character's name is John. So after Boss Baby recognizes that the person he's here to visit actually exists, he lets him in. He's like, don't do that again, suck a dick, fuck you, I was real tough. And then he goes over to his friend, who is named John, we are led to believe, since he was called John. And then he just keeps saying, John, 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 which means one of two things. Either John was under some kind of mind control brainwashing thing, and him hearing his name has fucking stun-locked him, so he starts repeating it, John, 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 and he's starting to unlock all of the memories of his life and remember who he is. Or it means that the guy who was blocking the door is also named John, which then also leads me to believe that the other man in the background of the video with the mask will also probably be John as well, which means the entire apartment complex is inhabited by just Johns. He has entered into this parallel dimension where everybody is John. The baby is John, he's John, you're John, I'm John, we're all Squidward. I really do like to imagine that this facility is some kind of government building that, like, it's just concentrated John energy and they all just live there and only there. So if you ever see a John, this is where they came from. It's like a factory that prints out different Johns. But yeah, I mean, anyway, I'm getting a little too deep now. I just wanted to share this video because I found it to be an extremely interesting one, mainly because of the big John twist at the end. So yeah, I don't think if you're gonna be a hero, at least don't do it with your baby on your back. You know, like that seems irresponsible. Also, maybe just be a bit calmer about it instead of immediately trying to call the police because there's a guy you don't recognize there. I wonder if he does this when like a UPS delivery guy comes in, or like Amazon Prime sometimes just has people in their car show up, so when he has an Amazon Prime delivery, he just fucking freaks out, like goes wild, starts chasing the car around on all four like a dog, asking for their ID. You know, there's certainly a better way to have handled this, I think. But anyway, that's about it. See ya. Meet Chuck McCarthy, the people walker of Los Angeles. What does that mean? What is a people walker? My name's Chuck McCarthy, and I am not a sexual predator.
Today I have a walk.
Nor am I Amish.
We're gonna go pick her up. Oh, don't
I could see
these
people walking being
have
useful,
friends or
like for
family that can
protection
walk
in a
with them?
dangerous
And
neighborhood or
the answer
something,
is
but I
yes,
wouldn't
they
want
have
Chuck
friends
to
and
be the
family
one
that
walking
could
me.
walk with them,
No one's
but
gonna be
are they
afraid of
able
Chuck.
to? In a city like Los Angeles,
Chuck's just
get
painting a
from
bigger
one
target
side of
on
the
you.
city to the other side. We'll start up a team. We have an app now. An
To be
office,
fair, like I really
and
do
we
think this could
have
be a
over
good
100
business if you had like
walkers
jacked
here in Los
meatballs
Angeles.
to walk you,
We're
like for
also
protection.
in San Francisco and
Having these
Portland,
soft
and possibly
hipsters
just
that look
opening
like they're
up
more
to the
afraid
rest
of
the
gluten than the
country very
boogeyman
soon.
is
The
probably
future of
not
people
good for
walker
this type of
is
business, I'd
to
say.
be national.
Is it gonna be Chuck in the basement? Hey, I was just walking your dad. Can't even read this title. Ponies on the Delta Pony Play Festival. What does that mean? Oh, are these people that dress up as horses?
Yeah.
Called it. Called it.
Crashes
busy.
and wrecks.
Oh, good. Get the ambulance out there. Bill. Oh, God.
The competition gets pretty crazy sometimes.
Who knew dressing up as horses could be so goddamn dangerous? Oh, fuck.
Known as the washing machine man because I'm the only
What a
person
cool
in the
name.
world that can escape successfully from. I've
Man, this guy
successfully
is
escaped
limber.
From 40 brands of washing machines in 42 countries.
Washing machine manufacturers hate him.
The brand that
They're
kills
still trying to design a washing machine that can stump the master. What a cool accolade, yeah. Credited with escaping 40 different washing machine brands. They can't hold me. Could this be the end of the washing machine man? Come on, he needs our energy. Chris Angel's mind freak. Oh God. Is he making any progress at all in there? This is some edge of your seat type action now. Did he get beaten? So he lost. His perfect record was ruined.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing if I got stuck in a washing machine too. Unironically pretty impressive. Now do it with a brick toilet seat and then I'll be impressed.
Head's intact. Now if I do a lot of these, the scalp starts to bleed. Nothing bleeds like the scalp.
Jesus,
But
37
I
to
don't recommend
38
this as a
toilet
hobby.
seats.
I've never had an injury. I've never had a concussion or anything like that. In fact, I'm a member of Mensa, and for giggles, I retook the exam a few years ago. I'm testing in at an IQ of 148. In my normal life, I'm an adjunct
He's also a
faculty
Navy SEAL with
professor at a local
500
college.
confirmed toilet
Once in
seat
a while, my
kills.
students will find out about this unusual. Have you ever hurt yourself? And
This
all
looks
the
like a
typical
guy with a
questions
high
like that.
IQ.
So between perfecting
Holding
the
a
head
broken
strike
oak
and
toilet seat that he
building up some
clobbered his head
resistance,
with.
I think I have the world's
Wie Dabaderzil Wadus Bjarksbasziel. Please subscribe to the Wizard About TV.
That sounded like a curse. You've all now been cursed with a credit card that can only be used on this stream. Blame him, not me. Mr. Elastic can make his feet turn backwards and walk. Such a lame power.
I am Mr. Elastic.
Whoa! Mr. Elastic has done it again!
I think, as far as I know, I am the only one in the world that is able to turn their feet around backwards and walk. Now, I have heard of one other individual that can turn his feet around, but he's not able to walk.
Yeah,
One of the
fucking
most amazing
loser.
things I can do is I can
Imagine
turn my
only
feet
being
around
able to turn
backwards
your feet 180
and then
degrees
walk in
around,
this
but not being able to walk.
How I can do this
Fucking idiot.
is a world record of turning their feet around backwards and then walking the farthest distance. A lot of people
Man,
ask
that's just
how
weird to
fast
see coming
I can
at ya.
go with my feet turned backwards. Let's find out.
I want him to break out into a full sprint. Come on. That's the best you can do, the sex offender
Also,
shuffle.
I hold a world
Come on, give me some
record
real
for turning
speed.
my feet around backwards. That it's not real. Well, I tell you.
It's not even 180 degrees, you goddamn clickbaiter.
Because I do it. How you can know is you have me come and do it for you.
It's closed, but it's not
If
a
you'd
full...
like to see more amazing people,
garbage.
subscribe to Wizard of Oz.
You're not Mr. Elastic. You're not a member of the Fantastic Four. Phony. Phony baloney alert. Hey, Grandma Shirley Webb. His penis probably comes just by him thinking about it because it's afraid of that speed.
Several times a day to build up calluses on my hands.
Man, why not channel that training into something useful instead of fucking clapping fast?
Clap really fast.
Spend 8 hours a day clapping in the mirror. It's hard work, but it pays off because I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records that no one's looked at in 10 years.
Clap, so I'll give you a general idea here. This is about stage 1, about 1 per second, right? It's about 4, 6.
Oh, I might be competing with you pretty soon. I'm going turbo. Alright, I'm spent. I can't imagine clapping for hours a day. Oh, I got lightheaded.
Know what they're witnessing.
Hey, so can I get your number now? If I can clap 1,000 times in a minute, you have to kiss me on the lips.
Speed clap.
That was 1,000.
A physicist told me that since this is less than a square inch, a surface area, with my body weight, so it's about a quarter
A
inch
physicist
surface
didn't tell
area.
you
Actually,
shit.
it's
Someone
probably
on
more,
Reddit
putting
commented
about,
on your post
400
saying they were a
pounds of,
physicist.
Pressure directly on this, pushing into my spine.
That looks like
pushing
a
the organs out of
15
the way.
diameter inches unit. It's gonna be pretty tough, I'd say, as a physicist.
No, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Does he spin on it? That'd be cool. Oh my god, he spins on it. Never mind, that was a lot less cool than I thought it would be. Yeah, I didn't know what I was expecting, and yet that really disappointed me. It looks like I'm looking at a video game glitch where the NPC kind of bugs out. Looks like Ernest. Ernest Scared Stupid, if you guys remember those movies. Most of you are probably too young to remember Ernest. Man, that's a fucking fat reference though, god damn it. Hold on. I can't let this reference be wasted on the youth. That is a dope-ass reference. Like, any of these shots. Like, look at this. That reference is fucking fresh. I'm a comedic genius. Look at that. Took me just one look to remember Ernest Scared Stupid. I remember in, like, middle school, that was considered, like, a really cool thing.
Turn my legs inside out.
Oh, he's putting the other guy out of business. Walk. Oh! No! You didn't just do it to him. No way. Oh god, right on the same channel too. Where is he? Where are you, Mr. Backwards Leg Man that wouldn't stop bragging about how no one else can walk? Where is he? Uh-oh, this looks surprisingly similar.
Feet around backwards and then walking the farthest distance. A lot of people.
Oh, you might have to relinquish that Guinness World Record, my friend. Hold on, back that shit up. Walk at me.
Out.
People ask how fast
It's the same.
I can go.
This man is out of a job. This guy has just been overthrown by this guy who's got a lot more talent than just walking backwards on his feet. Pussy.
Hello and welcome to our first episode of Kai and Charlie Watch Police Breaking into People's Homes.
Are you ready?
It's a tentative title, but might be a bit too long. Alright, yeah, you can count it down. I'm not gonna edit this out either. Countdown. This is how we work, people. Unabridged.
3, 2. Oh fuck! I hit play. I got a little anxious.
Yeah, you did.
My police breaking in just had me on the edge of my seat. I needed action ASAP. All right, 3.
Yeah, Mario Kart, you would have burned out.
Yeah, fuck yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So what's this about? What is the backstory here?
Oh god, fucking annotations. As far as I know, the news team got a tip about SWAT breaking into some drug dealer's house, so they went here to film it, and it's very unsettling.
It's even funnier because that means they've been added until the news got here.
Yeah.
Jesus, it is a strong door. It's
I think this is probably. I think this is probably just how they knock in Romania.
It's probably how they knock at Captain America's door. It's fucking vibranium door. Holy shit. If I had made that door... the other door? He didn't want any of it. He didn't want... he just looked out, he saw 2 fucking ninjas pounding a door. He wanted nothing but...
Yeah, that's probably the homeowner too. He's like, oh, these fucking losers. Wrong door.
Man, I would use this as an ad if I had made that door.
Oh, fuck yeah. Door's so strong that even SWAT could break it.
I mean, the upper portion budges more than the middle portion, where they're actually hitting it. That's interesting, too. The old lady's starting to complain already. Stop with the noise! Policia Cisper. Solid sex. Pussies in riot? I don't know.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they call their division. Oh boy, I really cranked up the volume.
Imagine being on the other side of that door.
Maybe the door was maybe the door was unlocked and the homeowner is so strong he's just pushing it back at them. They just can't budge him.
I think the homeowner got a fucking fake ID at this point and flew himself all the way to America.
Yeah, he could have ordered a pizza by now, flushed his drugs, flushed his cats, taken his kids to school and back.
He could have fucking watched his kids graduate. Did they just switch guys? I wasn't paying attention. I think they got tired.
Yeah, they're getting tired.
Holy shit. It's like a fucking safe door. Even their camera guy, the police camera guy, isn't even... Look at him, he's not even filming it anymore. He doesn't give a shit. Yeah, he doesn't even want to edit it.
His arms are tired.
Oh, yeah, never mind, actually. Now everyone's chiming in, like, giving tips. Maybe you should use some elbow grease.
Hey, let me have a run at it. I got a baseball bat in my garage.
I like their masks, too. They're not even cool masks, they're just, like, little skiing masks.
Yeah. It's very... It's lackluster, to say the least.
Oh my. Wow, they gave it a good pounding, but that lock is holding. I'm confused. In these situations, doesn't the police shoot the lock? Like, don't they have like specialized little shotguns for that stuff?
I imagine the SSPIR doesn't use firearms. They only use battering rams and other types of medieval weaponry. They have a catapult in the backyard.
What nation is this? What country?
Romania.
Oh yeah, the crowbar is definitely gonna work.
Bring out the Trey Boucher.
Wow, that's a big fucking crowbar actually, but I don't think he's strong enough. They could at least help him. They were just watching. What a lazy bunch.
Yeah, it's definitely big enough for someone to be pushing on it while he's pulling.
They're trying to enter number 6. I just saw that.
I can only imagine the drug dealer inside. He's just like panicking. Oh fuck, I'm running out of time. But little does he know he has all the time in the world.
I mean, could they not have just simply asked the homeowner for a key?
I mean, or just go through a window, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Just ripple down and... Did he also give up now? Is he trying to do it from underneath now?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we can do this, guys. We can just limbo beneath it.
Someone call the president. We need a railgun here ASAP. I really loved when it zoomed in on the fucking bludgeoned doorknob.
Yeah, and still nothing. Jeez.
Yeah.
Maybe they need a running start. I like how they're just taking turns now, like they're performing CPR on a fucking door. Also like that little guy that's pushing the door a little bit. He wants to feel like he's helping. Now he's caressing the door. Telling it it'll be okay.
Yeah, he's just gotta make the door more comfortable to loosen it up.
Well, I already forgot what country you said this was, but they clearly have absolutely fucking nothing else to report on. Why would you film this?
I mean, this was probably like this is probably the biggest bust in Romanian history. They just can't get the door open. Fucking catching Cobra Commander in there.
Yeah, I mean those fucking initials probably stand such shitty police in Romania. Look at that door, Jesus. It looks like wood too, but it clearly isn't. Look at that, it looks like a fucking burnt demon skin. It's a fucking cursed door.
It's got like a titanium core in there or something.
The lock itself must just be made out of adamantium.
Jesus Christ, whoever they're trying to surprise in there has probably already built an underground tunnel and escaped.
Yeah,
or just gone out the back door.
Probably defected.
The dude they're trying to catch has probably already joined the police force and is trying to help break down his own door.
What? Oh, it's just still the same little wrench thing. God, this is so puny and pathetic.
I like the logo in the bottom left, Sterile Pro.
Oh, what the fuck? I bet it's some like oh, now they're trying to drive a stake through the door. It's a fucking vampire door now.
God, I've got the fucking hiccups like a motherfucker now.
Look at this!
I don't know what that technique is there.
This is just goofy now.
Yeah, they're so burnt out.
I guess if you have a fucking wrench and a ram, everything looks like a nail. They could have tunneled under that door by now.
Don't worry though, the element of surprise is still on their side.
Could they? Okay, why not just break it at the hinges? Why are they trying to break the lock still? Or why not just break through the door?
Yeah, at that point I'd be taking a hatchet to it.
Yeah, the lock is clearly the problem. Look at the upper side of the door. It's clearly flimsier. It's just so embarrassing. And the door has a little hole in it too. What are those called? Where you can look out?
People.
Yeah, people. I mean, the guy could be watching them. It's a giggling.
I would be.
What is he doing now?
I don't know.
He's jacking off his metal cock for some motivation.
He's probably just making noise for fun. Oh, you want us to keep it down, do you, old lady? How about this?
They're just gonna annoy the tenant until he surrenders himself. This is funny because at this point he couldn't even get out. They just mutilated the lock so much he couldn't surrender if he wanted to. They could just leave and he'd probably just die of starvation in there.
Yeah, apparently he exists. He apparently exists in the fucking Fort Knox of apartments here.
He apparently exists in the fucking Down Under, whatever the fuck it was called in Stranger Things.
Oh, upside down. Down Under, Australia.
Yeah. Oi, matey, open the door.
Oh, well, he's probably already flown himself to Australia by now.
That would be a cool Stranger Things spin-off if the monster turned out to be Steve Irwin. He just came back for revenge.
Yeah. Terrorizing this fucking small town.
For no reason. Fuck animals and fuck you. I really like Steve Irwin.
So did I. He was such a cool guy.
Yeah. God, it's still going on. I couldn't believe this would actually last this fucking long, but it does.
Yeah. When I skimmed through it, I couldn't believe, like, every time I skimmed, the door still looked in the exact same position.
It's so many of them, too. Like, they knew they would have to deal with a huge door. Wait a minute, how light is that RAM, anyway? Like, how is one guy handling it that comfortably? It cannot be that heavy.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, I'm sorry, he doesn't have the RAM. He's just holding the other thing.
I like how one of them's getting a phone call. Jesus, it's been 4 hours. Come back to the station. Just let him go. It was a fucking parking violation. Who cares?
Who cares if he had a party? Jesus. Whoever called the cops is probably sorry at this point.
Yep, for real. Fucking noise complaint. Yeah, they probably fucking phoned in a noise complaint on the neighbor. Now the cops are making 10 times as much noise. God damn it! I'll never get sleep now!
The drugs probably cleared out of the guy's system at this point. They couldn't even prove anything anymore.
Oh god, yeah. He has had enough time to flush the drugs, get more drugs, get high, and flush those in the amount of time they've been at this door.
I think that door frame has budged more than the actual door. I'd really advertise the shit out of this door. They'll have no choice but to break through your walls. I would build my house out of these walls. Out of these doors.
that'd be a really cool advertisement if we made this door. Door's so strong it'd be easier if they tried breaking in through the roof.
Yeah. Damn, I'd have like a little skit with a big bad wolf and 3 little pigs, but there's a 4th pig who just builds his house out of these doors.
Ooh, fuck
He's just invincible.
Looks like their wedge is bending. They're talking to the homeowner through the cracks.
Could you please open? This isn't fun anymore. My hands are numb.
He's probably just a pile of bones on the couch by this point.
Up again. God, imagine if that slipped. Man, that's just uncomfortable to even look at. It looks like he's just punching his dick.
Can we get a walkie-talkie in there and try and reason with him? Please let us in.
Man, I would be so pissed at this point. I'd just fucking leave a hand grenade and then leave, but it'd probably just bounce all the force in my face.
Yeah, the door wouldn't move an inch.
They should fucking convict them of sorcery. It's like a fucking force field.
This is a ridiculous... Like, look at that door! That's insane!
It's not even such a strong door. Like, look how he's giving it. Ooh! Well, time to break out the cake.
They finally did it. Except now it's probably not even the dude they were coming for anymore. It's his child.
He probably had enough time to erect a wall.
He set up another door behind this one.
Oh, that would be such a fucking... They would have to quit if it was, like, imagine a series of 4 doors. They're all numbered, so it's demotivating.
Door 5 of 7.
Damn.
Oh, that just ends abruptly. The fucking cameras probably ran out of battery.
Yeah, it ran out of film.
Wow.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you for tuning in to Kaya and Charlie Watch Please Breaking Down Doors videos.
There was the money shot.
Door never even opened.
Yeah, it kind of did. Technically.
A little bit.
Yeah, kind of sort of.
Cause serious injury or even death.
Probably not in this episode, Stan. It's disc golf and throwing cards. So you're probably safe to try these. I have no doubt he's getting through this door. There's probably not even a deadbolt or anything in there. Brody was also on Dude Perfect. Dude Perfect was scouting Stan Lee's Superhumans. As always, it's incredible what the human body is capable of, with only a little bit of practice and determination saying, you know what? Today I want to run through some bricks. And maybe some ice. What's going on, team? It's Coach Charlie back in the helm again, unshowered, unsupervised, unchained, and unhappy with how fucking stupid people continue to be in public. But it's been a little while since we've gone over some good public freakouts, so let's go ahead and splurge a little bit here and have a nice little group hug in the shower.
Take your mask off! Take it off! Fucking idiot.
I don't even need to tell you that this happened in Florida. You can actually just smell the Florida through the video. This is an anti-mask demonstration as they have a little Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade through the Target telling people to take their mask off. It's led by people that I'm sure can't even spell anti-mask, and they are really just feeling themselves, really thinking that they're heroes out here. And they're just so proud of themselves. He just made out with his sister in the bathroom. Now they've got their kids and they're running through Target making this statement here. And it reminds me of those old commercials from the 90s, like for Girl Scout cookies, where it's just a bunch of people singing some type of like rebellious song in public, like anything you can do, I can do better.
Take off your mask! Take it off! Take it off! Take it off! We're not stopping this! Yeah, we got someone! Take it off! Take it off!
I don't know about you guys, but if I was at that Target, I would have taken my mask and my shirt off and started double fisting, twirling them over my head. They just looked like they were having a great fucking time here, like some spring break and shit. And you know, gee whiz, I would have liked to join in on this party here. It looks like a little Oregon Trail crew going on their expedition right here. Honestly, everyone at this Target should feel blessed that they even got to be around these heroes. I'm so tired of firefighters getting called heroes and taking credit when people like this exist. These are the real heroes, not afraid to march right into Mordor, the heart of masks, Target, and take a stand. How noble. I bet if you looked up every single adult in this little Facebook group demonstration party, you would find that all of the adults have some type of criminal record, some kind of history. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say probably sex offenders. I've seen that a lot from a lot of these anti-mask groups, so I'm just going off historical data here.
Guys, I don't have much battery left on my phone, but I need somebody to know that HEB will not let me check out right now because
This one right here seems like some shit right out of the Blair Witch Project or the ending to Cloverfield. It's like some found footage type shit here. She's talking at the camera, pretending to cry. I don't have a lot of time. If you're watching this, then I'm already dead. I've been trapped in the supermarket due to my refusal to wear a mask because I'm quite the asshole.
complained to a manager that
Yeah, that sounds about right. That's about par for the course.
some customer was harassing me about not wearing a mask, and I have anxiety and PTSD, and they're berating me about not wearing one even though I told them I have a medical exception. The manager's name is Val.
Well, Manager Val, if you're watching this, great work. Thank you for your service. I always appreciate people that stand their ground and decline service to stubborn assholes that refuse to wear a mask. I've never heard of anxiety being a medical exemption from wearing a mask, and if she's so riddled with anxiety and PTSD, she should not be shopping in the store in the first place. She should just do curbside or have it delivered or something. But people like this like to make a scene. She's very clearly into theatrics. She must have grown up, you know, doing drama and stuff, and now she's flexing her golden pipes here, showing that she knows how to fake cry on demand, probably trying to land an acting role in a CW show. It's a great demo reel for an actress, I suppose, but in public, man, it's fucking embarrassing and truly shameless.
And I'm gonna be calling corporate later on.
Yeah, that also sounds about right. You didn't even need to tell me that. I could have guessed that that's what you were going to do.
I just need food for my family, and they will not. They've turned off the light here, and they won't service me. The lady who walked away.
Oh, that's so sad to hear. Her family's gonna starve to death now. The blood of her family is on this store's hands because she only had one option, which was going to this store without a mask, knowing full well that their policy was not to serve people that don't wear a mask, and now she can't get the crucial nutrients to her family that are relying on her. Oh, if only there was an easier, better way for people that don't want to wear a mask. Well, if only you could order food from the safety and comfort of your own home, but we don't have the technology for that yet.
I'm here with there's like no compassion left in this world.
No compassion left in the world? What do you expect? People to pat you on the back for being an asshole that refuses to wear a mask? People to walk around giving you a rim job because of your bravery and your protest for not wearing a mask? Like, what the fuck do you mean? What are they supposed to do? See you not wearing a mask and high-five you? Wow, the courage on you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They have a policy, you didn't follow it. It's as simple as that. Now you're melting down in aisle number 9, and everyone's avoiding you like the plague because you're a public nuisance. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? It's entirely your fault. You're over here whining, having a baby tantrum over here. Of course no one wants to come over and talk to you. You're psycho.
Nobody's asking me if I'm okay. Nobody gives a care.
Yeah, because everyone can see that you're fine. You're going wham, 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 aisle number 9 just because you broke the rules and are upset of the consequences.
Oh, this because less than 10,000 people have died from COVID for real in the U.S. The rest of them had at least 2.5 comorbidities.
Now, one thing I've noticed with people that believe this garbage and are this fucking stupid, they all wear shirts that have the American flag on it. It's become the unofficial uniform for America's dumbest people. It's become a way of identifying a fucking douchebag idiot from a distance. Just if they have an American flag on them, you can immediately deduce that their IQ is a single digit. It is baffling. I don't understand why, but it continues to be proven time and time again. I've never had a problem with people wearing American flags and patriotism clothing like that. I've never associated it with dumb people until the coronavirus, when it's been hijacked by America's literal dumbest fucking people. So what whiny Windy here is referring to is the CDC's statistics they published where they said 9,000 deaths were attributed solely to COVID-19. All the other deaths had other conditions in addition to COVID-19, and people are misunderstanding what this actually means. Those other conditions that tag-teamed the person with COVID-19 were fucking brought on by COVID-19 in the majority of the cases. They weren't all pre-existing underlying conditions. Some were, but not all of them. COVID-19 brought a lot of them. If you look at the actual study, you'll see a lot of the deaths attributed to COVID-19 and something else were COVID-19 and respiratory failure. Respiratory failure brought on by COVID-19. It's really not a hard concept to understand. For example, if you get stabbed with a knife, you die from blood loss. Your cause of death was loss of blood. Would you then exempt the knife from any responsibility in that death, even though the knife is what caused the blood loss? No, you fucking wouldn't. You said you would probably say they died from a knife wound. But for some reason, when it comes to coronavirus, since it's so heavily politicized, if the coronavirus didn't take a gun to your head and kill you itself, for some reason it no longer had anything to do with your death. Even though all of the other conditions that brought along the death with coronavirus were caused by it. Do you understand what I'm fucking saying? 9,000 people have not died from coronavirus. It's significantly more because it brought all of these other conditions to the person that ended up killing them. It's a really simple and easy thing to understand, and I don't know if people are just too fucking stupid to understand it or just willingly ignorant, choosing to misunderstand it. I couldn't fucking tell you.
I have to call my husband now in case I get arrested or something, which they're not allowed to do. And the Texas order 29, Executive Order 29, page 3, paragraph 3 states you cannot arrest someone for non-felony.
Yeah, make sure you tell the police that when they arrest you. I'm sure they'd love to hear that. I'm sure that'll probably work. She continues to cry and whine on camera for a little bit longer, but it's a whole bunch of nothing. Just more tears that she's really trying to pump out there. She's going for the Oscar nomination, and I can kind of respect that. Though I have no respect for her, it is at least a good attempt at fake crying. I'll give her that. Mark wants to donate a testicle for money. I'll give it a whirl. Mark seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's got some life pro tips here.
Peanut butter and jelly, $1.
How the fuck is he spending $60 a month on like 400 calories worth of food and he's still fat?
In his own apartment.
How is that possible? You're lying to me, Mark. You're sneaking cheeseburgers out the back door of McDonald's in bulk.
Hi, I'm Mark. Would you mind if I throw in some laundry with you? Just a few things, not a lot. Maybe a few things? No. Okay.
Welcome to Skyrim. What a great conversation.
My name is Mark. I was wondering if you'd mind if I tossed in a few articles with your laundry?
Not today, adventurer.
No. Please get a vodka and cranberry?
Yes.
Excuse me, would you mind if I threw some clothes in your ass? This guy's not a real cheapskate. A real cheapskate wouldn't get a dog because that's an extra expense. He has to get dog food.
These are the Ebola I studied.
You're lying to me,
This
Mark.
is my favorite. And waiting to do is this testicular study. What you do is you go
Well, let's
in
take a
and you
peek at those
donate one of
testicles,
your
Mark.
testicles, they replace it with an artificial
Plant them on
one,
the camera.
And when you check out after...
See, Dr. Goldsmith will be right with you.
All right.
Okay.
Very casual attire for a doctor's office.
So, what's monthly budget of $25 for our groceries?
Well, the household grocery budget goes towards everything that we share. We actually
$25 for groceries and he has a 24-pack of Bud Light sitting in his fridge? Yeah, I'm sure, baby boy.
that we share. We actually
You think you can lie to me on this show? Are you kidding
sometimes
me?
he likes to eat women, and I don't want Rick to die and me be stuck with a huge funeral bill. I can get it now at half the cost.
Ah, so you're gonna kill him. And you get his life insurance money. That's pretty smart, Carissa. Now that's an extreme cheapskate speedrun. Quick money, and you lose the expense of having a husband.
Nervous?
Now we're cooking. Okay, I get you, Carissa. Finally, something that makes
Cheapest
sense.
deal that we can possibly get. I mean,
Cheap. These are our cheapest caskets.
so on these.
Is that really necessary, though? Can we just use, like, a bucket and we can chop them up?
This? I don't even know
Save
what
money
that's
on a
called.
casket?
How much would that reduce the?
Be cheap.
Yes.
That's also another good point. Why are they holding a funeral, like, professionally? They could just do it in their backyard.
Life into it, but looking at how they want to do it.
Then they wouldn't even need a casket. And he turns into fertilizer for the plants out back, which saves her money on fertilizing.
Burial, one funeral, one everything.
Carissa, are you even thinking?
It's between $1,800 and $2,800.
Preposterous.
It'd be cheaper if we just did,
Can't we
like,
just use cardboard?
fewer letters like our initial.
And the entire purpose
Are
of
they
it is to have your
siblings?
name
No,
on
they're
it.
man
So
and wife.
To save
But I guess
a
it's not
little bit of
mutually
money
exclusive. They could be
by
siblings. I don't know.
Removing $800 or $900 to $1,100 or $1,200.
No deal.
I was pretty shocked.
You get it down to 400 or else you're going in the ground.
Stone actually is.
I'm not paying a dime over 50.
Stone that
They're used at the foot of a grave when you have
Unnecessary.
Like
Can we just use a bag of sand?
But you know,
we're gonna be
That's
as
a good
cheap as we
point, Mean
can.
Priest. Honestly, they should just get cremated. It'd be far cheaper than all of this. Then it's only one urn. Little Bastard Harassing Residential Neighborhood Part 2. That sounds like a good title. See, that's finally something that sounds interesting. Great start. Is the cameraman a child molester?
Had a bag on his head. He's a bag boy.
You got him there. Take that. If only he could hear that.
And as he headed.
Why is he hanging out of the car looking like Scarecrow from Gotham? Like if Scarecrow is part of the ICP Juggalos. Is that a breathalyzer? What are you blowing? .2? Well, I'm invested now in this story. Do they finally get him? Glamour pool ugly bitch getting off work. Now she's blowing her fucking horn again. What? What the fuck is happening here? I'll leave it a like. Glamour pool piece of shit bitch getting off work. Now she's blowing her fucking horny. Damn, she's doing it the other way, the reverse. I'll leave it a like. I'm getting invested. Glamour pool bitch at it again. Jesus Christ, there's no mercy out here, no laws. I'll leave it a like. 61 possible murderers on Staley Road. What the fuck has happened? Is it that glamour pool bitch again?
I'm expecting an army of murderers.
30.
Looks like this tree has a nutsack. What if he's telling the truth and just like 61 like serial killers rise from the dead in the background, like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, Hitler, all of them just terrorizing Staley Road. Whoop up on my butt, boy. Not gonna happen to his lifetime. Well, he did a whoop up on his butt, boy. Asshole blowing his air horn third morning in a row. Sounded more like a train whistle, but I'm no expert. I'll trust your expertise. Moron that thinks he's a fire truck. Who in their right mind could possibly think they're a fire truck? Human beings don't even have wheels. This guy must be insane. Is his whole channel just enforcing the speed limit? Holy shit. And he really hates the glamour pool bitch. She must have done some real fucked up shit to him. Staley Road has its own little Batman here. My god. Not a single car goes unnoticed on Staley Road, even if you're driving the speed limit. Your school dollars at work, and every child is leaning out giving him the finger. It must be that glamour pool bitch.
Look. This is our school system.
Why does he think everyone's a child killer? The whoop-ass man of Fort Myers? Oh god.
Okay.
He's got a cigarette too. He will fuck you up. Do not anger Hulk Hogan.
Go ahead.
Hulk Hogan mixed with a little Duck Dynasty
Hey,
genes.
you on a public road.
There's few accomplishments on this planet that have the same level of prestige as climbing Mount Everest. For the longest time, it was just viewed as one of the most impressive things a person could do. You conquered nature, you defied the gods, and climbed this ridiculous mountain. A mountain that's claimed more souls than Shang Tsung. Hundreds of people have died going on expeditions up Mount Everest, so much so that they actually used their corpses as waypoints. Like the famous green boots, which is an unidentified body of a climber who had green boots that perished on the mountain, and they now use them as a fucking waypoint. That is as extreme as shit gets. That is Insano style. So, climbing Mount Everest still has a very powerful reputation, though I will say, I feel like over the last few years, or maybe even like the last decade or so, its pedigree hasn't quite been the same. It's been perceived in a different way. Since it's so expensive to climb, a lot of people kind of view it now as more of like a rich person's getaway where they just go there to collect the Pokemon gym badge to say that they climbed Mount Everest, and really what they did is just kind of had the Sherpas do everything for them. So a lot of people don't view Mount Everest the same way when it comes to these expeditions, but that's still not to say that it's easy by any means. People still die there all the time. This year alone, there's already been quite a few deaths on the mountain. So it's not Weenie Hut Jr. mode by any means, but it is worth mentioning that a lot of people don't view climbing Mount Everest the same way because it's become so commercialized. But the reason I'm talking about it today is because yesterday there was a story that came out about a man who was climbing Mount Everest and nearly died. But he was saved by a Sherpa. And after his life was saved by this fucking angel, a hero that literally carried this man on their back down the mountain to safety so they could be airlifted out, in response to that unbelievable action, the guy started thanking his sponsors, and only his sponsors. He never thanked the Sherpa that saved him, or really any of the Sherpas that helped save his life and perform this incredible rescue. He only had his sponsors to thank, at least until public backlash started mounting, and then he very quickly said thanks to the people that actually saved his life. It's just crazy. So let me go over this story with you because it's a wacky one. So this was posted on Instagram from the Sherpa that found and helped save this man's life. I hope I don't fuck up the name pronunciation. I think it's Gelje Sherpa. But basically, they were on an expedition and they had a client and noticed that this guy was about to go meet the big man upstairs. He was on death's door about to get a game over screen and decided to cancel the trip and focus instead on rescuing him and saving his life. So they strapped the man to Gelje Sherpa's back and began the 6-hour journey downward in order for him to be airlifted out. He is literally carrying this guy on his back. This is some shit out of Death Stranding. Now, of course, this wasn't the only Sherpa that helped here. There was a lot of people that came to the aid and saved this man's life. And he had nothing to say about his saviors here. Instead, he immediately went to thanking his sponsors. His statement was, "I shit you not, I am alive today because I had the best and dedicated partners, the 14th Peaks Expedition Co. and Global Rescue Inns." On his own Instagram post, this is all he had to say. How important is rescue team and heli rescue on Everest expedition? Believe me, it's very important. I'm alive today because I had the best and dedicated partners, the 14th Peaks Expedition Co. and Global Rescue. Everest in previous years, especially in 2022, was good, but in 2023 it was tough and taking many lives. He literally doesn't even mention the people that actually saved him, and instead just takes this as like a sponsorship opportunity to try and like help make his brand partners happy. Like, oh guys, look, the most recent Everest expedition went tits up. I almost died. But thanks to the Ridge Wallet and fucking Blue Apron, I'm alive here today. So, all's good in the world, and I can't wait to get back out there again with my brand partners. As the light was leaving my eyes, my vision fading, I thought to myself, I can't afford to die here, because I've got Raid Shadow Legends to be playing at home. Damn it. And that's the only thing that got me through that expedition at the top of Everest. That's the only reason I made it back in one piece. That's just fucking crazy to me. There's no shot he just forgot to mention the people that saved him. There's no way you could forget who saved your fucking life. This was a conscious decision to not even mention them for some reason, and instead just mention your sponsors. It blows my mind. Now, like I mentioned, a lot of people started blowing up at this guy, you know, saying, why aren't you mentioning, you know, Galj Sherpa and everyone that helped save you? And eventually he made a post where he thanked all the Sherpas that had a role in his rescue, which does include Galj Sherpa. But the fact that they had to, like, pry that thank you out of him is so baffling. They had to squeeze this guy like a tube of Go-Gurt in order for him to just acknowledge the people that actually saved him on that mountain. And Galj Sherpa seems like a saint, because even after all of that, Galj just said thank you, hope you're recovering well. So he really just cared that the guy was alive and, you know, healthy after all of this. So he is a fucking saint. Because the man whose life was saved got an entire press tour out of this. He went on television, he had tons of posts. This was a big story. And he didn't acknowledge anyone that saved him, which seems like such a slap in the face of the people that risked their lives to save his. And even still, they just seem happy that they were able to help and that this guy is now alive. Now, I want to show another clip that kind of goes over it a bit more. This is from CNN when they covered this story earlier this week.
The guide was climbing with someone else up Mount Everest when he spotted the climber in distress, clinging to a rope and shivering. Temperatures in that area can drop to negative 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The Sherpa wrapped the climber up, put him on his back, and carried him down, descending nearly 2,000 feet.
In places where it was rockier, we could not drag him. We had to carry him on our backs with difficulty.
How do you not thank them? I can't get over that. This is not something that you just, you know, slipped your mind, you know, happy to be alive, but I'm even happier my sponsors are still behind me. They got my back. Oh, and then, of course, yeah, also, some people saved me. Like, I don't know how you don't thank them. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because I thought it was kind of a wild story, and that's about it. So, yeah.